So I got this question on Facebook. What kind of protein powder do you use? Weight loss? Um, and my answer was, I get my protein from real food. So I'm not against, I want to talk about this a little further because I'm not against protein powder. Um, some of them are loaded with crap. I'll say that. But it, I am against this idea that there's no magic formula, no magic shake, pill, or powder is going to change your life. You're going to change your life. And if you're relying on one product to get you to your goals or one system, one program with something that you have to buy or you're not going to survive, you're not on the program, that doesn't feel very sustainable to me. So I'm not saying you should never use protein powder. I do take collagen every day. But there are ways around it. If I were making, we'll talk about this a little bit more, if I were making my own bone broth every week, I wouldn't need to take collagen. So when I say prioritize protein and produce, I mean just that. Build your meals around high quality protein dense foods, foods without ingredients lists, meat, fish, eggs, chicken, turkey, maybe some low fat dairy. That is like one or two, ingredients might be like milk, salt, that type of thing. And then fill in with colorful fruits and veggies. When you're prioritizing those foods, it's easy and you're cutting out by bringing those in, you are naturally consuming less and less of the crappy processed carbs. Eating this way is going to make it so much easier to get into a calorie deficit if you do need to lose some weight and burn some fat. You're going to find cravings go away. It's easier to build and maintain muscle, better mental clarity, better mood, better energy, all of the things. So, what about protein powder? Should you be using it at all? Well, that depends. So, here's a couple times where protein powder would be handy. One is as you are easing into this lifestyle. I really would recommend, especially if you're trying to lose weight, to be aiming for 1 gram of protein, high quality protein, per pound of ideal body weight. So if you say weigh 150, you want to get down to 140, I'd be aiming for around 140 grams of protein a day. And when you first start paying attention to this stuff, that can feel, it doesn't need to be hard, but it feels hard in the beginning. If you're used to building your meals around carbs and maybe having giant salads with itsy bits of protein, itsy bitsy bits of protein. But as you start making the transition, so to speak, it becomes really easy. And I'm going to share some examples. Meanwhile, a high quality protein powder could be nice to have on hand to maybe even blend into something like Greek yogurt to boost the protein. So that's a time where protein powder can come in handy. Again, for those days where you're just really in a hurry. But I even have shake recipes in my second cookbook that don't rely on protein powder. The other time, so I do take collagen every day. I wouldn't need to if I were making my own bone broth and really eating nose to tail really consistently. But the fact of the matter is I don't. So I take collagen every single day because these amino acids, the proline and glycine, they're considered non-essential because our bodies make them, but our body doesn't make as much of them as we get older, and we're typically not getting much of them from our food, again, unless we're doing the bone broth and all of that. So I put a scoop of collagen peptides in my coffee every day. Boom, done. It's great for you, helps to firm up your skin, stronger nails and hair, great for your connective tissues, all of the things. When I say it firms up your skin, I'm pointing to my face, but let's just say it firms up your skin. So I use that. And then I personally, I keep this as a whey protein that I keep on hand, but this is not something that I use every day. This is one that's super high quality. I know the guy that developed it. I have this on hand. I'll sometimes blend it into Greek yogurt, or it's great. I don't do a lot of smoothies, but this is great blended with like frozen blueberries to make a little shake. But this is a great one to have on hand, but I don't rely on this for my protein. I'm getting my protein from real food. So I've said it before and again, I'll say it again. There's no magic shake, pill, or powder that's going to change your life. You're going to change your life by eating real food, by moving your body, by getting out in natural light, by getting your sleep, going back to basics. That is where you need to start. And then, maybe add some of this. Maybe you keep this on hand. You know, all those things, these are extras. These are a little sprinkle on top, but start with the basics. Drop any questions in the comments. Hope you found this helpful. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube if you are enjoying the content. Thanks so much.